going? I hope you all are doing amazing. If you're new here, hello. Welcome to my channel. I'm the Intuitive Rose. Nice to meet you. If you're not new here, hello and welcome back. I'm so happy you joined me again today. So today, y'all, we're going to do a pick a card reading on what surprises people about you, okay? We do have 3 piles for you to choose from. We have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. And if you feel drawn to, feel free to choose more than one. That's again only if you feel drawn to. So we have pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Let's begin. Alright, so if you chose pile number 1, this is your reading, pile number 1. So let's see what surprises people about you, okay? So looking at this image, you guys, isn't she just giving like bad A energy? Like, I love her vibe for one, okay? So I did write down some channel messages. So first thing, you surprise people by the things that you are low-key into. So this is why it comes as a surprise, because you do not tell everyone what you truly want, what you truly like, okay? Not until maybe it's more of a closeness that forms, okay? So whether you are getting closer to someone, as a friend or maybe as a partner, okay, not everybody will get to know this side of you, sharing your low-key desires, okay? So this also could refer to like your music choices, okay? So it comes as a surprise when people are like, oh, you listen to this, or you like this kind of stuff. Like, it's definitely given that you may come off as like a good girl, good guy, okay? So then when people hear like your playlist, they're like, oh, okay, I can vibe with you. So it definitely does give those kind of vibes, okay? Next message that I got was, what surprises people about you is your ability to put your foot down, okay? So when people hear about you sticking up for yourself, or when, they actually physically see you doing this, it comes as a shocker, because it's like, it's giving, like the Chihuahua vibes. You know how like the small dogs, but they're such big talk. So you guys could be like very short, you're someone very small, very tiny, okay? And I'm getting like height-wise, okay? So when they hear this, they're like, oh, this, I wasn't expecting this, okay? So they see you're not afraid to put people in their place, okay? 111 could be relevant. You could also be like the youngest or the oldest. Yeah, one of them, because I'm getting something about that. Like there's an age difference between maybe you and your siblings, or you and, your cousins, the people you grew up with. So it comes as a shocker to see you out of all of them, maybe the feisty one, okay? But there's also something about you having this persona of like being a good girl or a good guy. So you guys may have like an innocent look to you. That's what it is. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. And you want to know something? I get this energy that people may try to like one up on you, like take advantage of you, okay? They may try to, pick on you. And then when they realize, like, when they're trying to bully you or something, you're not one to play with. Like, you will, come back and snap on them, okay? So this is what surprises people. For some of you, I'm picking up on, like, coworkers, bosses, like, stuff like that, managers. They realize, oh, like, I can't really pick on pile number 1 the way I thought I could, okay? So it's definitely some misinterpretation going on. I'm not sure if it's the way you dress, or it's, again, this innocent look to you. Some of you guys may have like a really soft, sweet voice. Yeah, so it's like, oh, I wasn't expecting you to, react this way. All right, so yeah, this is what surprises people about you. Next message that I got was, You could be someone that likes to hang around with older people. So this could be like people older than you, or maybe like people like, I'm hearing like old folk, okay? So like the elderly. Take it how it resonates with you. Some of you guys may work with the elderly too. Okay, some of you guys, this has to do with like your job. When they hear your age, they're like very surprised. I don't know if you may work around a lot of people who are older than you. Maybe more, maybe has had more like years in a job, an environment, okay? I'm not saying you're new. It's possible you are new in a workplace, but your age is coming up in here for some reason, okay? So yeah, when people hear your age, they're like, oh wow, like that, I'm surprised, okay? I'm surprised you're here, okay? So I'm not sure what you do for work, but it seems like you may work at a place where people your age are normally not hired. Next message. You may also have a specific or like certain preference in the people you talk to romantically. Like you may have a certain list, a certain criteria that people are like surprised. Like very surprised about, okay? And there's also this energy that you go for what you want. So I get this boldness about you. You're not afraid to tell someone that you like someone, okay? If you're, want to get to know someone, you initiate, okay? You're not afraid to be the first to message. This is what surprises people about you. They're like, oh, wow. Like, I thought I was going to have to do most of the chasing. You don't mind being the one that starts. As long as, you're not the one that's fully initiating, always initiating, there's something about you still being okay with leading. You have this alpha male, alpha female energy about you. And like I said, even this image is like, it's giving bad A energy. Like, I love it. Also, some of you guys might be on dating apps, okay? Because when I wrote down things, I accidentally like read it as Hinge. And I know Hinge is a dating app. So so this may also come as a surprise. When people see you on the apps, they're like, why are you on there? Like, I wasn't expecting you to be on there. Some of you guys, people feel like you don't need to be on there. You could probably have any girl you want, any guy you want, and this is why it comes as a surprise. Like, I thought you would have been taken already, okay? Some of you guys may like to cuss too, so this also comes as a surprise. It's like, oh, I never knew you was into that, Yeah. Also, where was I? I did write down, yeah, if you want it, you go get it. So yeah, I did already say that. This is, for some reason, I'm thinking of like Crybaby and Great Gatsby. Yeah, I'm thinking of Great Gatsby and the Crybaby. I'm thinking of the ladies specifically, like the ones that, were dancing and in that those leather outfits and stuff like that. You may like that. You may really, like when you go out, you go all the way out, okay? You definitely are not someone that is afraid to show some skin. You actually really, you embody this body positivity, okay? Whether you know this or not, this is what surprises people about you. When they see you in an outfit that normally, say your body type wouldn't go for, but you end up...
Rising, my loves. Thank you so much for being open to listening to this reading today. If you find yourself to be resonating with these channel messages and would love to finish the remainder, feel free to become a Patreon member to have full access to the rest of your reading plus more. You also have the option of renting the remainder for only $1 today. If interested, feel free to follow the steps in the description box below to have a private link sent to you. I kindly thank you in advance for your love and true support.
Alright, so if you chose pile number 2, this is your reading, pile number 2. So let's see what surprises people about you. So the first channel message that I got, you guys, was You surprise people by your styling choices, okay? So some of you guys may like a Barbie style kind of look. Like you like to, like, for example, for my feminines, you may like to wear a lot of dresses. You may like to wear a lot of feminine clothing. It could be like loose fitting, okay? There's definitely something about the colors as well. You wear very bright and vibrant colors, and this is what surprises people about you. It could be because maybe at one point you weren't wearing this, okay? Yeah, so that's what I'm getting. You could have like recently changed up your style. It could even be your hair as well. So this is what's surprising people about you. For another group of you, I was getting something in regards to your hair length. Okay, so some people, it may come as a surprise that your hair is really like your real hair. Or for some of you, that it's not your real hair. So you may have it, done very well. You may pay extra money to make it look all natural, okay? But then there's a group of you that, your hair is all natural. So this may come as a surprise when people find out what it is or what it's not. Okay. Some of you guys know how to do your own hair. You know how to maybe make your own clothes. You know how to sew. You know how to like crochet, like do all those things. So this may come as a surprise. Yeah. And I feel like someone here, something about a car. You maybe could have like recently picked a car that was like, I don't know, normally the opposite of what you would go for. So this is what's surprising people about you. Oh, I wasn't expecting you to pick this color or pick this car out, okay? Also, a lot of you guys are maybe coming out of your shell a lot more, okay? So even like with the hair, you could have maybe kept your hair up a lot, or maybe covered it, like turbans, wrapping it. So you surprise people when you have your hair out, when you have it down. You're like a whole different person. You look like a whole different person, okay? Especially when you're like styled up, glammed up. This is what surprises people about you. You really do turn into a different person when you have your hair done, makeup done, nails did, all of that. Your hair cut, all of that, okay? New jewelry on, all of that. You turn into a whole different person, okay? This could be like maybe on certain days, maybe at night, I'm hearing that song, The Freaks Come Out at Night. Okay, so maybe it's that. Maybe you turn into a whole different person at night. Or like the weekend, normally the weekend, everyone's off, you want to go out, whether that's with friends, whether it's with yourself, there's something about you turning into a whole different person. And then you may post it, people may see you in this outfit, see you in this attire, and they're like, oh wow, pod number 2 can really, they can really dress, they can really do something, That's something that I'm getting, okay? It's like a different person you turn into. And something about you doing it on your own. So you may also have the talent of doing hair, have the talent of doing nails. You may know how to cut hair, okay? Yeah, so this is what surprises people about you. Also, I'm getting something about a game here, okay? And it's funny because when I first looked at this image, she looked like a doll to me, right? And every time I think of a doll, I think of like, being fake. But this may be a surprise when people talk to you. You may have this persona or this look that you are maybe like someone that could be fake. So when they do talk to you, and they hear you, like they hear how you speak, they see what you do, they see how you reciprocate, or they see how you are generous, it's like they realize like, oh wow, this person is actually like a true beauty. They're a good person. They're a good human being, okay? So this may come as a surprise. People may question like your intentions, what are you thinking, something like that, especially when you're silent. when you're silent, when you're not talking to someone, when you're not calling someone, when you're not messaging someone, it may come as a surprise. Oh, what you was really doing? Oh, I was just meditating. Oh, I was just, sitting, vibing outside. This may come as a surprise because they're like, oh, if I look like you, I would be doing more than that. So it's something about people may project onto you what they would do, okay, how they would act. All right. So when they find out that you're actually, like a good person, it really does surprise them. I feel like also there's an energy of, how can I put this? People are surprised by how you make them feel. You make them feel very, I don't know, I don't know what I'm trying to say, you guys. I want to say there's something warm. It's like a warm embrace that you give off, even if you're not touching someone, whether you do give a hug to someone, whether you don't give a hug to someone, okay? Someone feels immediate comfort just by the thought of you calling them, the thought of you, it's something about definitely thinking here, thinking. So you are in a lot of people's minds. This is what surprises people about you. I think this is the thing. So you make people feel a certain way and it may scare them. So it may also confuse them, and they may question, like, how is it that, you're not using this on other people? So I don't know what it is. It could be, again, this charm that you have. People fear that you may be doing the same thing to other people. All right. It's like they project their insecurities onto you. What surprises people about you is when they learn that you're someone that's actually loyal. When they learn that you are actually a genuine soul. That you actually give with your heart. That you love to give. People are surprised when they find out your love language. Okay, it's funny because even with Ponder One, I was getting, these facades that people give off in the very, very beginning. So, you know how they say, oh, don't judge a book by its cover, because you never know, like, what the real message is in that book unless you read it, right? Or, what the story's trying to say unless you read it. So it's like that. You're like this book, and people automatically judge it by what they see on the outside. So then when they get to know you on the inside, who you are as a person, who you are as a friend, who you are as a parent, who you are as a lover, as an associate, they start to see you differently. And this is what surprises people about you. It's very different. And it could be
rising, my loves. Thank you so much for being open to listening to this reading today. If you find yourself to be resonating with these channel messages and would love to finish the remainder, feel free to become a Patreon member to have full access to the rest of your reading plus more. You also have the option of renting the remainder for only $1 today. If interested, feel free to follow the steps in the description box below to have a private link sent to you. I kindly thank you in advance for your love and true support.
Alright, so if you chose pile number 3, this is your reading, pile number 3. So let's see what surprises people about you, okay? So I did write down some channel messages, and the first thing I want to point out, I ended up getting a notification on my phone saying to pull your daily tarot card. Okay, so I thought that was interesting how as soon as I started, y'all pile. So some of you guys, what surprises people about you is that you guys may be a reader. You may be into tarot. Okay, some of you guys may be into chakra healing, okay, or you may have knowledge on chakras. You may have knowledge on spirituality or divination, okay, whether you do practice this or not, or whether you are educated on it. This is what surprises people about you, okay. I also feel like what surprises people about you is what they learn that you can do, okay. So you may talk about the things that you're capable of doing, and it's all talk until it's shown, right? So then when people actually see you, walk the walk, they're like, oh wow, like, oh, I'm surprised. Okay, so this could again be also maybe your work. When people check out your videos, when people check out your readings, when people pay for your readings, they're like, wow, that was quality. Also, this could be maybe like what you do for work other than like tarot or reading. So some of you guys may have like other jobs. Okay, so when people find out that you have another job, or that the other job that you have, it comes as a surprise. So whatever kind of job it is, it still comes as a surprise that you are willing to open yourself to other things, like again, divination, healing. Some of you guys, this has to do with like acupuncture as well. That just randomly came to my mind. Okay, so it's like you may work at like a corporate job, and when they find out that you have like a side job and it includes you giving healing, Reiki, readings, all that stuff, and they're scratching their head. They're like, oh wow, I wasn't expecting that. It's just like that. Like, that's what it's giving. This comes as a surprise. Or this again could be the fact that you're open and allowing yourself to receive that kind of help, to receive that kind of guidance, whether you watch the videos or whether you make the videos. Okay, let's see what else. I feel like this is shocking because people may have a different idea in mind on what a tarot reader is. Okay, everyone knows that's really a thing. Okay, so you help change them. I'm sorry, you help change that. Yeah, because I'm looking at her. She has like all this color around her, right? It's giving very vibrant. It's giving very tropical as well. So you help people see the light in, spiritual things, in divination, in healing. I feel like you are an advocate too for certain things, for certain people, and this comes as a surprise. I'm hearing I don't play about mine. So, whether mine is like, your business, your family, your children, your pets, there's something that you keep close to you and you do not play around with, okay? For some of you guys, you don't play around when it comes to your health. And this is what surprises people about you. Some of you guys may have had like a health scare recently, or just, maybe you have had one. And you took the necessary precautions to, reverse it, to, better your health. And this comes as a surprise to people because maybe the habits you once used to partake in, you no longer do. For example, it could be drinking. Maybe you no longer drink. Or, when you do go out, you have like a virgin. Or maybe you limit the amount of drinks that you do. There's something about that here. You may have cut down some things, cut out some things as well. Okay, and this is what comes as a surprise. I don't know why, but Spirit keeps bringing me back to your religion and spiritual nature. So for some of you, maybe you practice like multiple things. You're not just spiritual. You could be religious too. Or maybe there's certain things that you take from all religions. All right? Yeah, you don't limit yourself. That's what it is. And this is what surprises people about you. So when they hear that you're spiritual, you do all this, but then you may also go to church. They're like, oh, interesting. Like, that's what it's giving. I'm not saying you have to do that, but it's something similar to that. Or it could be like you're spiritual, but you still drink, or you still eat meat. It's like, who says this should be this? Who said that, oh, you have to be this in order to be Catholic, in order to be spiritual? There's something in regards to that. You do not follow that. You don't do things by the book. No, you do it by your book. Okay, I love that. Pile number 3. This is what surprises people about you. It's giving something about like shamans, elders and stuff. This may be who it shocks because this could be people that were that grew up believing things to be a certain way. This could also be maybe people in your family, your grandparents, your great grandparents, when they see you are diving into this stuff, it does kind of like maybe throw them off a little bit. It may shock them. And this is what surprises them about you, is that you still do what you want to do. Nobody's in control of your life but you. And this is what surprises people about you. I don't know if you're around a lot of people that like to, live people's life. But this is what's coming up in here. You may have had to prove a point more than once, is what I'm getting. And you have no problem with doing so. Yeah, this is what surprises people about you. You don't care if it's your auntie, your uncle, your mama, your daddy. You do not care. Pile number 3. I noticed like even this whole energy like has shifted. I noticed. So this may be something that you do, pile number 3. You can go from 0 to 100 really quick. This is what surprises people about you. And this may scare people sometimes. They're like, oh, I don't want to get on pile number 3's bad side. And you're like, yeah, you don't. So that's what it's giving. Some of you guys, I feel like you could definitely smoke, you could drink. This is what surprises people about you. Or maybe, you recently stopped. You quit this, Also, Spirit talks about like your mistakes in life, okay? I'm hearing loud and proud. Okay, so you may not even view them as mistakes. There really is no such thing as a mistake, because everything that we do is something for us to learn from, right? Or at least receive some information on it. So whether that is you had a past, you had a history, you had some days, you had some nights, okay, you embrace it all. You will gladly sit and tell your grandchildren about it when the time comes, and you will be laughing the whole way. Like, that's your energy, pile number 3. I love it. Like, I love it. This is who you are.
Abundant Rising, my loves. Thank you so much for being open to listening to this reading today. If you find yourself to be resonating with these channel messages and would love to finish the remainder, feel free to become a Patreon member to have full access to the rest of your reading plus more. You also have the option of renting the remainder for only $1 today. If interested, feel free to follow the steps in the description box below to have a private link sent to you. I kindly thank you in advance for your love and true support. Love and light.